Hello, everyone. I'm Kenshin. Welcome to Exploring History. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Also, remember to turn on the notification bell. Thank you. Today's historical discussion is about the vanished Mitanni Kingdom. In April of 2023, even before entering the summer months, friends in Taiwan were already feeling the power of summer, with experiences of water supply reductions even in the southern regions, indicating that Taiwan was once again shrouded in a water crisis. In fact, many places worldwide are facing water crises. For instance, in the Middle East, Iraq is experiencing a devastating drought disaster. The water level of the Mosul Dam, the largest reservoir in the country, has significantly decreased, revealing ancient city ruins with a history of 3,400 years, akin to the emergence of 9 frog statues at Sun Moon Lake. According to reports from The Independent and CNN, the appearance of palaces in the Mosul Dam reservoir along the Tigris River belonged to the Mitanni Kingdom of the Mesopotamian civilization. It is one of the least studied countries in the ancient Near East. Today, I'll take this opportunity to talk about the almost forgotten Mitanni Kingdom. Do you still remember that the Mesopotamian civilization originated in the Fertile Crescent region? This fertile land amidst deserts provided the prosperity foundation for many ancient civilizations. The Mitanni Kingdom, which we'll discuss today, is one of the forgotten civilizations. The heartland of Mitanni lies between the Euphrates and Tigris rivers, specifically somewhere upstream of the Habur River in Mesopotamia. As for the capital, Washakani, and the important cities of Kahat and Tide, their exact locations remain uncertain, but it's reasonable to assume they were in southeastern Turkey or eastern Syria. How did Mitanni rise to power? Originally situated in the northern regions of the Euphrates and Tigris rivers, Mitanni seized opportunities as the old Babylonian Empire declined. Around 1595 BCE, during the reign of the Hittite king Mursili I, who advanced along the Euphrates and plundered Babylon, Mitanni likely began expanding its influence. By approximately 1500 BCE, King Paratana had enough power to control the Syrian city of Aleppo, situated between the Euphrates and the Mediterranean, marking significant territorial expansion. At its peak, the Mitanni Kingdom controlled trade routes from Aleppo to Mari and from the Euphrates to Carchemish, along with the upper reaches and the source of the Tigris River, and the city of Nineveh. Mitanni had good relations with the Hurrian-speaking Kassites, whose territory corresponds to present-day Kurdistan. Located in northern Syria, Mitanni bordered western Anatolia to the west and extended eastward to Nuzi, modern-day Kirkuk, and the Tigris River. To the south, it stretched from Aleppo to Mari on the upper Euphrates. The fertile land in the entire region allowed agricultural production without artificial irrigation, making it desirable for farming and animal husbandry, which is why the Mitanni were renowned as skilled riders and charioteers. The country's written records are scarce, but according to accounts, it was a pioneer in the development of light chariots. These chariots used spoked wheels instead of solid wooden ones, similar to the wheels used by the Sumerians, making the chariots faster and easier to maneuver. One can recall the characteristic wheels of the chariots used by the Egyptian pharaohs. In the Hattusa archives near modern-day Turkey, the oldest surviving horse training manual was found, dating back to around 1345 BCE. It consists of 1080 lines and was written on 4 clay tablets by a Mitanni horse trainer named Kikuli. The text begins with, "So said Kikuli, the master horse trainer of the Mitanni region," and it includes a comprehensive regimen of care, exercise, and feeding for war horses, detailing the correct methods of horse training. Mitanni was not the only power interested in Syria. For example, Egyptian pharaoh Thutmose III, 1479–1425 BCE, frequently waged wars in the region. In his 8th campaign, Thutmose III defeated Mitanni and local allies, extending Egyptian influence to the Euphrates River. Despite Egypt's successful occupation of many Mediterranean ports, it ultimately couldn't control inland Syria. Finally, Pharaoh Thutmose IV, 1401–1391 B.C.E., established friendly relations with Mitanni. By the late 15th century BCE, Mitanni directly or indirectly controlled a vast area including southeastern Turkey, northeastern Syria, northern Iraq, and northwestern Iran. As for the language spoken in the country, it was Hurrian, completely different from Semitic or Indo-European languages. However, not all Mitanni spoke Hurrian, and not all speakers of Hurrian were Mitanni. For instance, the expansion of influence affected another forgotten ancient civilization, the Hittite Empire. Some Mitanni kings even had Hurrian names, and the Hurrian deity was also worshipped, leading some scholars to consider Mitanni as a federation of Hurrian-speaking states. Nonetheless, the essence of Mitanni society remains a mystery. As for the records of the kings of that country, there are few extant records. Apart from the previously mentioned world's oldest horse training manual, communications between Mitanni kings and the kings of Assyria and Egypt, such as the Amarna letters discovered in 1887, and treaties with the Hittites, all prove that between 1500 BCE and 1240 BCE, the country indeed prospered. Due to the destruction of Mitanni culture by Assyria, records of early kings are scarce, inferred mainly from documents like the Amarna letters. In the 16th century BCE, notable kings include Kurta, his son Shuttana I, and Baratana, also known as Parshatata. In 1430 BCE, King Shaushtata expanded Mitanni's territory by conquering Alalak. As mentioned earlier, Egypt, under Thutmose III, eventually prevailed over Mitanni in their long struggle for control of the Syrian region. However, both sides later maintained friendly relations through marriages. For instance, Atatahama I arranged for Thutmose IV and Amenhotep III to marry Mitanni princesses. Beyond this, little is known about this king. Shuttana II, his son, strengthened bilateral relations by arranging his daughter's marriage to Amenhotep III. Under Shuttana I's rule, the country reached the pinnacle of power and prestige. By 1350 BCE, Mitanni was counted among the great powers alongside Egypt, the Hittite Kingdom, Babylon, and Assyria, demonstrating its significant strength. However, after the Hittite Kingdom sought to break Mitanni's control over trade routes, the situation changed. Hittite King Suppiluliuma I once stated, "The Hittites and the Mitanni Kingdom are in conflict. The Mitanni Kingdom blockades northern Mesopotamia, from the western coast to the eastern mountains, from the area of Aleppo to the region of Kirkuk. It was this king who initiated the attack and plunder of Mitanni's capital, even installing a puppet king." Yet, this situation didn't last long. In the annals left by Assyrian king Adad-nirari I, it described how Hittite king Shatuara I challenged his power. Consequently, Adad-nirari I marched against Mitanni, crushed the Hittite army in battle, and even brought Shatuara I back to Ashur in chains, forcing him to swear allegiance to the Assyrian ruler. Although Mitanni remained an autonomous state at this time, it no longer held the same status as other major powers, now paying tribute and allegiance to Assyria. After the Assyrian Empire defeated the Hittites around 1245 BCE, it firmly seized control of the region. Mitanni, integrated into the empire, lost its independent status and was subsequently forgotten. In modern times, archaeologists discovered the ruins of this large city in early 2022. The site includes warehouse complexes, industrial buildings, defensive walls, and jars containing cuneiform tablets on clay, bearing texts spanning millennia. Experts believe the excellent preservation of these city ruins resulted from a seismic event around 1350 BCE that destroyed the entire city, with collapsed mud walls completely covering the structures, preventing dissolution by lake water. In fact, as early as the drought period of 2018, this historical site temporarily exposed a palace. According to Ravana Puljiz, an archaeologist from the University of Tübingen's Institute for Ancient Near Eastern Studies in Germany, the palace was meticulously designed, with mud brick walls as thick as 2 meters, some even exceeding this height. Almost every room was coated with gray plaster. The research team also discovered many red and blue wall paintings at the site, speculating that they might have been a common feature of palaces at that time, although few of them were well preserved. However, the palace was later submerged again. At that time, the archaeology team hastened their efforts to protect the site from future flood damage by filling the ruins with rubble and covering them with waterproof fabric. Additionally, the Mosul Dam was built on unsuitable geological grounds. Since the 1980s, concerns about the dam's stability have persisted. Experts have warned that the dam could collapse at any time, causing catastrophic flooding along the Tigris River towards Baghdad. However, today, the concern is more about water scarcity issues.